Hey folks, and yeah, this is a little bit of an interruption, we could call it, to my look at the Fall of Cybertron figures because I felt like I had to. This is the Transformers Warrior class, Thunderhoof. From the Robots in Disguise line. I wanted to try and bolster my Decepticon ranks a little bit, and I've heard great things about this guy. And I've liked the line so far. And then I get this figure, and my excitement wanes. It's not all that it's cracked up to be, and I don't really understand why people adore this guy. Stick around, and I will explain exactly why I was kind of let down by this guy in the latest GotBot True review. Okay, welcome back to the channel. I am your host, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot, and as always, please check me out everywhere and check out all of my work. And this is the Warrior Class Thunderhoof. Like I said, I've heard great things about this figure. I'm not impressed now that I have him in hand, unfortunately. We're going to grade him as we always grade him, and we're going to start by looking at his paint apps, and you know what, I'll give credit where credit is due. I like the shade of blue that's used on him. I think that the shade of blue that's used on him looks quite good, to be honest with you. Its placement isn't perfect. I mean, his shoulders should be gray. There's more of a tealy color that should be... There's a little bit of teal up right here, but there should be more of it on his chest. And his antlers, I guess we'll call them, they should be more of a blue color, though I do kind of dig them as black. Is he show accurate? No. Is he a nice color? Yeah, sure, he's a nice color. Overall, though, I can only give this guy about a 7. About a 7, maybe an 8 if I really want to stretch it. If you don't like hollow, you're not going to like the back of Thunderhoof because the legs are hollow and his body's hollow. That doesn't really matter to me. I don't really care about that. But next we get into posability, playability. Well, the head can go left and right. It doesn't really look up or down, but it can go left or right. These antler things, they can move forward and they can move back, and they can, you know, go down straight and come up like this. The shoulders, they're a bit weird, but they can still, you know, swivel around. It's a odd mechanism that they have for his shoulder, really. You know, his arm can go out to the side, but if you notice, like, there's a gap in here where his arm and his shoulder is. It's a bit strange. There's a ball joint that goes out to the shoulder to give it, you know, outward mobility this way, and I think that's kind of ingenious, to be honest with you, for what they're trying to accomplish here. But it is peculiar. There's a swivel and a nice 90-degree elbow bend, but that's because that's all on a ball joint. It's not two different, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Not two different hinges or anything. But, you know, it serves the purpose. You know, again, you can see like the shoulder here, and you can see the gap up there. It's weird. Next, the legs. Okay, well, the legs, they can go all the way out to the side. That's nice. They can go all the way forward, all the way back. There's, you know, a really deep knee bend, again, more than 90 degrees. And ankle? Well, we call this ankle articulation. I don't really know what you would call this. Low knee? I'm not really sure what you would call it, but he can do this. You know, I don't know if that's I don't know. So, posability, playability. Oh, and his hands, because of transformation, they can like bend in, but that's it. And his waist, it swivels this far and this far. The side skirt pieces, I guess you'd call it, come up around his abdomen a little bit and stop him from swiveling. That will be important later on. But he does have a swivel at the waist a little bit. So overall, I'm going to give his posability, playability a 9. A 9. And he does roll, to be fair, he does roll great in his tractor, combine, harvester mode, whatever. I'm not really sure what it is he turns into. His packaging, I don't usually do this, but you know, there's a look at the package. And the steps are on the back, but I'm going to tell you now, the steps aren't great at explaining how this guy transforms. It's not that they're bad, it's just they kind of put a couple of steps, I feel like anyway, together. He did come with a weapon. The gun looks really cool. It's kind of like a gun with a saw blade on top. I seem to have misplaced it. I don't know where that is, but it goes in his hand fine. And there's a hole on the back right here where you can place it, and it sort of fills in the back of his body a bit, to be honest with you. So I kind of dig the weapons placement in robot mode. In vehicle mode, I think the only spot, at least that I've been able to find to place his weapon, it looks just terrible. But I'll explain that when we get to it. I really wish I had the weapon here, because honestly, that's the highlight of this guy. So, you know, paint apps, like I said, about a 7. I've thought about repainting him and doing some custom work to make him look more animation accurate. I'm not motivated to do it. I'm really not motivated to do it. And his paint, I think, looks okay here. It fails more in the alt mode. So, going on to transformation. This is not great for this guy, I don't think. How do we start the transformation? Well, let's do the easy part first, and we fold these ankly leg pieces up, his hoofs. You fold his hoofs up like that. Then you have to, I think it's easiest next anyway, I guess we'll fold in his fist too. Here, we can do that, why not? So now, those things are folded away. It says in the instructions next to put these down. I'm going to alter it a bit. I'm going to lift his chest up first. When I was trying to figure out how to lift his chest up, I tried to pick up the whole thing, and that's not what you do. Where these two blue pieces are here, and this black piece down the center, that's where you need to detach it. And it can be a little, there you go, a little bit tricky. You bend it up, and you extend it. There's a, see if I can show it. There's a armature back here, and it's connected up on his head, I guess, and down here on his torso. I think that this is just waiting to be broken by kids. It's just a thin arm piece of plastic that holds this whole top section on. Maybe you can see it right there, up and underneath. I don't think that this is, I'm skeptical about it lasting. Anyway, let's assume it's going to last. You bring that all the way up there, and you turn his head around, and you straighten out these pieces. And I guess you can push them, you know, down forward. Let's try and get his arm there. Try and get that straight. Now, it says in the instructions next to swivel him at the waist, but like I said, you're going to hit a snag because this kind of holds up on his torso. So what you need to do is begin to push this down till that clears the torso, and then turn it all the way around, and then you can push it the rest of the way down. Now this part is kind of ingenious. The legs come up and become the front. On the legs there are two little holes here and here. A hole on this side and a hole on this side, and there's two little tabs, one on this side and one on this side, up and underneath, and that's where you bring the legs up. You might have to fiddle with it a little bit, and the legs, there's sections there for them to, I guess, tab together. In here there's a, you know, a tooth, and there's two teeth that it goes in between over here. I don't find though that it stays together very well, to be honest with you. It's more really kind of a guide. You'll notice I don't have anything done with the arms yet either. Okay, here's another weakness. The paint was applied sloppy on this side, and if I bring it down and show you, there's already scuffing right here, on my copy anyway. I don't think it's because of the mold, I think it's because the paint was applied sloppy. I don't have it on the other side. They hinge down. I would also advise that you kind of position the arms down as much as you can at the moment. So I guess you want to get them out of the way. Bring those legs up and underneath, and they will tab in pretty easily. And there's the front of the vehicle mode done. And it looks okay. It's just you got to remember that that waist will not just hinge or will not just swivel while he's standing up straight. You do have to bend it back a little bit. You have to remember that this whole chest piece isn't his entire front section. It's just the black piece that goes down to the center and the two blue pieces over here. That's the only part that goes up. Next we come to his arms. Now we already had them detached, and we begin to bring them back. You're going to have to probably pay attention here. There's a little tab up here and another little tab there, and you want to kind of get those put in the spots as, I guess, as best as you can. There you go. And same on this side. You want to bring it back, and there's a little tab up top here and a little tab down bottom, and you want to fit them in. Once they fit in, they're pretty good. Next you have to deal with the arms. Now again, the arms go together, kind of like the legs go together. But again, they don't hold together great. I find that the best thing to do is to bring the arm all the way up around first. And bring this arm all the way up around first. And you're probably going to knock stuff apart as you're doing it. And then bring them to... See? Then try bringing them together, push it up, slide all that back in. Now it's a matter of making sure everything is tabbed in. And in the end, when everything is tabbed in, not quite tabbed in on this side. There. In the end, when everything is tabbed in, this is Thunderhoof in his vehicle mode. I wanted to really like this because it's a different vehicle mode, and he does roll like a champion. Like I said, post-building, play-building is pretty good on him. It's like a 9. You might have to fiddle a bit with the waist, and you're going to realize not everything pegs together fantastic on him. A lot of it is just kind of a guide where stuff goes, and I feel like you need to try and make sure a lot of things are tabbed in at the same time. And then when you have this, I guess it's a combine harvester. I think that's what I've heard it called. It's some sort of a tractor thing. Here's what kills me with it. We have like an all-spark blue front window. We have nothing at all on the back window. Nothing, not a bit. Not a lick of paint on the back window. On the sides here, you have black and blue, and black and blue, which is okay, except the way the molding is done, the window comes up the side and back, and part of the window is colored black, part of the window is colored blue. Just a little paint up that would have at least had the entire window be like this all-spark blue, or if the entire window was black and the front window was black and the back window was black, it would have helped this guy tremendously. Now, as I said, I don't have his weapon, unfortunately, but there's a rectangular tab up right there. And that rectangular tab is where the weapon stores, and when the weapon's in here, it kind of looks like a mohawk on him. I don't know. I think it's... Now that came out. I think that it looks sort of silly, personally. His transformation is a little bit fiddly, tricky to get everything tabbed in. I'm only giving his transformation, again, about a 6. I'm not impressed. There's some great ideas. I love the legs becoming the front of the vehicle. I even like that they have to, twist around at the waist, and then you have to kind of bend up a part of the legs. I like that. It's just I feel like there's a couple of tolerance things that are a little bit off. It had great potential. I like to see this new engineering. I hope they keep up this new engineering, but get things a little bit right. Overall, what's my score for Thunderhoof? I'm giving the guy about a 7.5 overall. He's okay, but I wouldn't run out to get him. If I was going to run out to get a figure in the RiD line, I would run out to get this guy. This is Fracture, and he is fantastic. And I believe I made this guy one of my top picks for 2015. So, yeah, Thunderhoof, 7.5. A lot of people have given him high praise. I don't feel the same way. If you do and you love Thunderhoof, great. Great, I'm glad that you do. I think he's certainly an interesting character and an interesting addition to the line and an interesting Decepticon to add to your collection. But I don't think he's one you need to run out and try and hunt down. You know, call is yours. If you have him and you enjoy him, great. For me, I got ones that I prefer more. Anyway, that does it for this one. I really appreciate you taking a little bit of your time out of your schedule to spend with me here and have, you know, a visit. And I certainly look forward to the next time that we get together right here inside the videos. Thanks for watching.